Hey guys, this is Tim and welcome to the Tim G. Edwards Music YouTube channel. Happy New Year. Today's guitar lesson is primarily intended for the beginner student, but anyone's welcome to attend, or perhaps you know a few chords but you have difficulty in changing between chords without breaking rhythm pattern. Well, this lesson is for you. So I'm going to provide you some tips today on how to learn chords faster and also how to strum and when to change chords from one chord to the next. So let's get started. Okay, the first tip in learning guitar chords is you need to memorize the chords. I would start off with, maybe 2 or 3 chords and then look at where your finger placements are for each one of those chords and then memorize those. You want to get to the point that, for example, like the chord of G, you don't want to look down and say, well, finger number 1 goes here on string number 5, finger number 2 goes on string 6. So you have to look at the fretboard, look at your fingers in order to play that G chord. You need to memorize your chords that you're going to be playing. So there's lots of chords out there to learn, but just start off with some of the simple ones like G, C, and D, or like E major or A minor, just some of the major chords. But I'll be providing you some tips on how to learn those more today. So first tip is memorize your chords. And then the second tip is memorize your chord shapes. It's one thing in memorizing the chords, but look at the shape of your fingers while you're pressing the strings down to make the chord. Remember what that shape looks like and memorize that shape, okay? So for example, we're going to use the chord of E major, okay? If you don't know how to play the chord of E major, it's shown up above. Finger number 1 goes on string number 3 of the 1st fret. Finger number 2 goes on string number 5 of the 2nd fret. Finger number 3 goes on string number 4 of the 2nd fret, and you can strum all strings. Okay, that's E major. That top string is the E and that bottom string is the E, so you want to strum all strings. But notice this shape of how the E looks. If you zoom in a little bit closer, you notice the shape of that E. So to help you memorize the chords, also memorize the shape of your fingers to make that chord. So to do that, just start off with E and don't really practice with any other chords at this time. So once you get your fingers placed there, just release your fingers, maybe off the strings just a little bit, and come back down on the strings again. Lift up off the fingers, keep your fingers basically glued together in that same shape. You don't want to break that shape. If you start doing that, you're going to have to look for your strings again. So just keep that same finger shape the whole time. So play E major, lift your fingers off, keeping that same shape, land back on there. Okay? Another chord to learn that's similar shape as the E major is A minor. Okay, A minor. And to play A minor, you just simply move every finger down one string like that. Okay? So from E major to A minor. So to play A minor, finger number 1 is on the 2nd string of the 1st fret. Finger number 2 is on the 4th string of the 2nd fret. And then finger number 3 is on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret. And you want to strum all the strings except for the top one. This is the A string, so it's open. You want that string to sound out. So that's A minor. Bring all fingers up one string, keeping the same shape. That's E major. So for right now, just practice that. Switching between A minor, keep your fingers glued together, keep that same shape, and just go down one string each. And that's A minor. Okay, so just practice that for 15 minutes or as long as it takes. Don't switch between other chord types. Just get used to that shape, memorize that shape. It's called muscle memory. Okay, you want your memory to kind of remember, you know, the shape and the, you know, the muscles and stresses of your finger in order to be able to shape that chord. Okay. Another way to practice these is just kind of play with a metronome or a backing track. So what we'll do is in a moment we'll just play some rhythm beats with that. When do I change chords? The question by a lot of people, how do I know when to change chords? I break the tempo a lot of times. So you want to be able to strum the guitar and in a manner that does not break the rhythm. So to answer the question, when do I change chords? For the most part, you always want to change chords on the upbeat. And what I mean by that is most songs have, you know, 4 beats to a measure. Okay, some have 3 beats to a measure and some have others. But most primary songs have 4 beats to a measure. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And with that, I'll play the E major chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm playing downbeats on every number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, you want to change chords in between the numbers. Okay? So I'll insert the word and in between the numbers. So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when I say and is when you want to change the chord. Now some chords change after the 4th beat. Some could change in after the 2nd beat or a 3rd beat. They could change at different times, but regardless, you want to make the chord change on the and, on the upbeat of the strumming, okay? So in other words, I'll strum after the beat number 4 when I say and then I'll come down on 1. So it'll be like, so for example, switching between E major and A minor, like we learned earlier, keeping those same finger shapes there. The word and is typically strummed on the upbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, when we say and is when we want to switch. But when you change chords, you can strum up on all the strings, but you just want to barely lift off the finger, and you can mute the strings by not pressing down on the strings. And then when you come back down, you want to press on to get that next chord. So your strumming on the upbeat can be with muted chords. In other words, you're just barely touching the chords. Or in some cases, especially with fast songs, it doesn't really hurt to hit a few strings even open. It's not even noticeable. Especially on faster songs. So just to practice this with me, we'll count off 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm gonna switch after 4 beats. I'll switch. It'll be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you can kind of hear some of the open strings switching in between. Okay, so that may not be appealing for some songs, but and again, fast songs, you really don't notice it. It's best if you would just kind of try to mute the strings or don't hit as many on the up while you're changing the chord. For example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it may be best not to hit the strings. Just come up with your hand, but don't strum the strings on the upbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you can kind of practice this, going back and forth. And I found that it's a lot better too to count as you play. That way you can count and strum in rhythm as well. So for example, count out loud like I've been doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And also you can practice counting using a metronome or practice backing track. So let's practice this with the backing track. So we'll play 4 beats of E major and then move our fingers down one string and play 4 beats of A minor and then back up to E major again. And we'll do that through several times across about 12 measures on that. So just follow along with me. We'll start off slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Very good. That was good. So just remember that shape of the E major chord. It takes on the same shape as the A minor chord. You're just moving your fingers down one string from the E major chord. So now let's go back to the A minor chord and let's teach you another chord, okay? So we've got A minor. So to play C major, the only finger you have to move is this finger number 3 here. Stretch it up to the string up above on the 5th string on the 3rd fret, okay? And then strum all the strings but the very top string. That's C major. So the only finger I'm moving is this 3rd finger. From string number 3 to string number 5 of the 3rd fret. Okay, so notice this shape is kind of a slanted shape. This finger's down lower, this is in the middle, this is up higher here. Okay, and be sure and get on the fingertips. But just remember that shape. That shape is the C major shape. This is the A minor shape, E major shape, A minor, C. So just get used to switching between that. So like I stated earlier, to get that, to memorize that chord shape, use that muscle memory. Just do the C, lift your fingers off, keep that shape, keep your fingers glued together, land that shape, because you want to be able to go straight from one chord to the next without having to look where to place your fingers. Okay, so memorize that shape. Take the fingers off, keep in that shape, keep your fingers glued together to that shape, place them back down. Make sure all strings ring out. And like we practiced earlier, practice going back and forth between A minor and C, 4 measures each. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Switch on the upbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so let's do that with the backing track. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, play. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, so that wasn't bad. It just takes practice. You'll get the hang of it, and you can increase the speed as you feel more comfortable as well. So again, tip number one, memorize your chords that you're going to be playing, so you don't have to look for what finger needs to press on what string. And then memorize your chord shapes. Okay, that develops the muscle memory. So remember the shapes of the chords and what those fingers shapes look like in order to make that particular chord that you learn. And then practice between no more than 2 chords. Just pick 2 chords. Just pick like G major going into C, and practice going back and forth with those 2 for a while. So just play until you feel comfortable between those 2 chords, and you can strum smoothly and change between chords without breaking tempo or breaking the beat. Okay, so practice that, and then practice counting the beats as well. So it's best if you verbalize the beats and count along with those, and that kind of keeps your timing in rhythm. And then practice with a metronome or a backing track usually helps as well. So I hope these tips helped you out in your strumming. So just practice, and you'll get faster, and you'll feel more comfortable in learning chords and changing in between chords without breaking rhythm pattern as well. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure and hit the like button after the video. If you're not a current subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. It's free, there's no obligation. Just simply bookmarks my channel on your subscription so I can easily be found. Have a great day, have a great new year. God bless you.